Hey guys, it's me. First to see. Hey, what's up? Update time. Uh, just a warning. This is gonna be a long ass update because I've got a lot of things to say. This is also an APEcon kind of video thing that Meads did a couple weeks ago. Mine is long overdue because I'm so lazy. So I wanted to just throw that in right now. I'm going to divide this video into 3 parts. So you could skip this part, go to the next part, or just go all the way to the last part. So this first part is going to be about my day in San Francisco, basically hanging out with Meads and Pobs. First of all, I just wanted to say that I am back to walking. Yeah. Friggin', I have no use for the crutches now. They're right there, just for effects of this video. But I don't need them. I'm back to work, so that's why I haven't been doing videos. I was barely able to do the GM Type-C video. I don't know if you guys could tell, but there's like different lighting settings for the different shots that I did. Some of you can tell. It's actually pretty obvious. But I actually took the video 2 days. One day was before work, and then the next day was kind of after work because, yeah, I wanted to also kind of, since I'm trying to get my life back into its normal pace again, because being down and out for a month, well, I wouldn't say a month because I actually started walking and doing things I wasn't supposed to be doing after the 3rd week. So, not being able to do most of the things that I was usually able to do for a month, your life kind of slows down a little bit unnecessarily, so you're trying to get it back up to its normal pace again. So that's what I've been doing lately, just trying to get it back together, trying to get back to work, trying to make some money again, make up for lost time, basically. So, anyway, this first part will be about APEcon. The second part is just sharing my thoughts on reviews. I wanted to kind of share something that I realized is kind of something that I realized about my last review that I want to throw in my future reviews, future videos, things like that. So I'm just talking about this channel in general, just the general versus the update. Now, the last part of this video, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the new Gundam series, Gundam Age, which I think everybody's been doing, so I might as well throw in my 2 cents. If you don't want to watch it, let me just say that I approve. So, there. So now, the first part, you'll see APEcon. It's the Alternative Press Conference. Alternative Press. I forgot what the E stands for. But APE, Alternative Press something. It's a conference. It wasn't as big as like a typical convention. It's not something that we're used to. We're used to seeing. It's not like Fanime. It's not like Anime Expo. It's not like Comic-Con and things like that. It's although it does focus a lot on comic books, this is more for the artists. So hence alternative. I'm supposed to be watching Gundam Age, but there's a fat ad over there. It's in the way. Anyway, yeah. So alternative press something. It's you see lots of artists and writers, lots of alternative comic book writers and artists and stuff like that. They're just putting themselves out there. They have their own booths and things like that, as you saw in Mead's coverage. Mine is more or less pretty much the same. So if you're curious to see my perspective of the show, of the conference, you can go ahead and watch this part of the video. If not, then skip to the next one. So yeah, here's the alternative press conference with myself, Pobs, and Meads.
Well, I don't know why.
Daily City, I think. Oh, there you go.
Right
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll bring it today, so the video's not on your page. So what's up, guys? Z again with Pobs and Meads.
Yeah.
Pobs. Yeah. There you go. We're heading to APEcon today, or it's gonna be a day.
Tell my friends about APEcon. Like, what about ape?
Yeah, I don't even get it.
It's an acronym.
Oh, what?
Alternative Press Expo.
Press, yeah. Well, yeah, let's do this. Ooh, magic. We are in Civic Center, and there's some kind of Filipino American International Book Festival thing happening over here.
Filipinos.
Yay!
Say something in Tagalog, Mark.
Buenos dias. I'll say one later. That is sick! Alright, so we're at the Alternative Press Expo up in the Concourse.
Double camera action.
Double camera.
Double cam.
Yep, so we're at APEcon today. We'll see you guys inside in a second. Alright, so me and Miz just got interviewed by some random comic book people. That was pretty cool. It's our first booth. The most interesting thing about this booth: Pinocchio as a vampire slayer. His nose is the wooden stake. That's pretty clever.
He pokes people to death.
That's pretty clever.
I think I'll let you upload the video. That's I'm gonna like a duplicate.
Yeah.
Alright, does it matter? Alright. Oh, nice.
And then he squeaks.
Oh!
Of an angry punk rock teenager whose brother, she finds out that her brother is sort of filled with these horrible magic black tentacles. He's got this horrible monstrous infection. She has to figure out where it's coming from.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of a Lovecraftian kind of thing, kind of a horror story with a lot of comedy in it.
That's always a good magic
Yeah, we got a
stuff.
good mix. I think. Yeah.
So SLG printed out the first issue. So these are like limited edition. I think they only made like 100 of them. So if you buy one, you draw a sketch. How much is one?
Zombie cakes. Like that one. These are all hand painted, right? Oh, snap, when does that happen?
It is usually about the end of August. So if you go on their website, they usually post updates. It's called Zombie Obama.
Alright. Stick a... Sweet! Thanks.
The other side is
Child artist.
That's pretty good.
Hey.
You got Ferb. Is that Ferb right there? Phineas and Ferb?
Yeah.
yeah. There's a discount for $5 bits, you know?
I like the guy from Benson.
Oh, yep.
What's your name?
I don't know which kind of sperms that is.
Okay.
This
Oh,
is
okay.
the artist.
Right there, guys.
Yeah, here you go. This is the picture one in the WonderCon, and this is all.
Oh, she's at WonderCon.
You can Google his name in the, you know.
Where's the camera?
Huh?
APEcon. Is that your name?
Oh, there's more dogs back there.
No, what's your name?
Michael.
Aiko.
There's more dogs back there.
Ah.
This is the artist right here.
Oh, look at the
Dude,
Joker.
all those Spider-Mans that...
Oh, look at the Joker.
Ooh, yeah.
And for Mummy too.
Oh, no, the Spider-Man right there.
Yeah. You got the movie Captain America.
Oh, the minifigs.
Do your friends ask you to draw for them and stuff?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
One time my friend just gave me $1.
There you go, there you go.
I didn't really want him, I just did it. It was interesting.
I could sit down.
What am I doing to record this?
baseball?
What's that?
Are you Mike?
Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
Mike Henry, huh?
It was real. That one's sick.
Oh, wait. Is that? Oh, no.
Pretty good. How are you?
That is for a project called Ancient. A comic book that I'm hoping to debut at Emerald City Con. And these are the Army of the First Son. Is basically my bad guys are all robots, and these are kind of just the archetypes, 5 archetypes. At some point, I hope to be made into a really cool video game.
Oh, yeah, that'll be awesome.
All this.
Just buying prints, man.
Oh, pretty cool.
I like that summer.
Thanks for asking.
Bad Panda. The black version. Nice. Man. Check this out.
How are you?
What's up?
Oh, thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Madison camera.
Oh.
I picked something up. Is someone selling figures?
Well, we haven't been on that side yet, so.
What is this? The super glitter looks nice on all these goods. It's kind of like nice because you get the Super 7 in the background. Like it's kind of like a...
He's got his sketch done.
Oh, and this is
From that Eldritch comic we got earlier.
My Aaron. Can I pronounce Alexolic?
Alexovich? I guess.
Yeah, they're using warm lights. Nice.
Well, we're taking a break. I don't know if I recorded enough for you guys to see. But we're taking a break. We're like halfway through, I think. What you guys, I don't know.
I'm tired. I'm hungry.
Oh, we're all tired and hungry. What do you guys think so far, though?
I think this is great. It is a great experience.
Yeah, I mean, it is different from like what we're used to, but
Look at this man.
look at that,
That is
though.
awesome.
That's probably the highlight of the show for us, I think.
I love this mech designs.
Alright, we just left APEcon. We're hungry as hell.
My back hurts because of my backpack.
All our backs hurts. It's my first weekend being out without my crutches, walking. Ah. Alright, we just got done eating. Not just got done.
We've been walking for a bit now.
Yeah. And we're on the way to Sun Entertainment. Okay, so we're in, I was going to say Boss Robot Harbor. We're in Sun Entertainment, and what just happened?
Looking around.
We're looking around. We kind of conned Hobbs into buying another. Well, more like he was tempted to buy it. He really wanted it. He's going after it. And what's his final answer? It's got a busted box.
So it's 3,200. So
which is about like $40, right?
Yeah.
And then
40
plus
bucks.
you ship it.
which is like
50.
get 50. So it's only
'Cause
like
check it
4 or
out.
5
So
bucks over.
that's the original price, $59.99. He managed to get $10 off, and we're trying to do some calculations right now.
So it's only like 4. It's only like 4 or 5 bucks over what it could be. Like I mean, like I know you could get it cheaper, but like this is like
We're here.
yeah, we're here. I'm holding it.
Wait, what? We gotta support the store, man.
I gotta buy a high grade for you, so I can help me save some more than myself. Right?
Yeah,
If I buy a high grade,
you guys gotta help each other out. I gotta get home, so I can't buy anything. Think about it. We gotta help the store out. Oh yeah, so wait, I'll talk about that later.
I'm gonna talk to you guys.
He's gonna talk to them now. Alright, what the hell just happened?
Alright, check this. So I went up to the guy and I was like, hey, you should give me a damaged box discount because no one else is gonna buy this. And like, it made sense. And it was $60. And our calculations was if we bought it, if I bought it online, it'd come out to be like around $40 to $45.
Time out. We spent like 15 minutes calculating, by the way.
Yeah, dude. And I was about to pull my hair out, but anyways, it came out that like he was only charging 50 for it, and he said he was going to charge me with the tax, but I went ahead and bought it anyways, and he gave me $10 off. I bought it 50, so it was only off by
50 flat.
So
50 flat, no tax. It was like, it's like he probably saw us struggling over there, and he was like, you know what, I'll just give it to him. So yeah, folks, if you're around the area, please support this store. Let you know in a second why.
So yeah, that day was pretty fun. Well, fun in a way, but you know, I had to get my exercise. It was the first week it was the end of the first week I was actually walking without the crutches, and it was a really good day. It was a really good weekend for me because there was a lot of meaningful things, a lot of things that I learned aside from APEcon. It's more personal. But it was a very good weekend. It was a very well needed, very well taken weekend that I really needed. The pain was nothing. It wasn't even pain. It was more like just our lower backs and my legs. It wasn't even my hips anymore that was hurting. It was just my legs from walking so much and like trying to get my feet to remember that I like to walk. So I like to walk long distances. So yeah, that was that. Now about the last part about Sun Entertainment. Some of you may already know, some of you may not. If you're from the area, you might already know. If you're not from the area, you don't know, probably. Chances you don't know. Now, the store owner of Sun Entertainment actually passed away. I wasn't sure if it was that weekend, but when I first heard the news, Gundam Uber actually told it to me over Facebook, I think. And also a couple of my followers on Yelp told me. So I first heard about it from Yelp, and I thought it was just a bunch of BS until Jimmy told me, and that's when I bought it. And then I looked into it, and it was true. He suffered from a car accident, and he was alive still, I guess. I think his nervous system was pretty damaged, so he really couldn't do anything. And then he passed away. So that was the news. So now, what I want to say, since I think Meads and I are really trying to promote, trying to support your local hobby store if you can, is to support this particular business. So if you're in the area, if you're around the area, it's located in Chinatown of San Francisco on California and Sacramento Street. I might be getting my address wrong, but it's on that. It's in the area. You can just look up Center Entertainment. There's two, but this is the one that's kind of on a hill. Wow. So, yeah, try and support that business. It's still open. It's still going to be open. It's still going to be running. He's had friends and other people run the store for him sometimes when he wouldn't be working. So it's a pretty good place. when you come into it, you're already like you're already shown off to all these other model kits on one side, all these nicely done Gundam model kits displayed like in glasses on the outside, and then you can see all the car models on the other side, and like in the movies and other collectibles on like the opposite side of the entrance. And then when you walk in, there's this glass casing of perfect grades and master grades and other kits like Caropla. So you find a huge variety of model kits here. There's a gimmick to this business where it's you can buy one Gundam model kit and get the second one half off of equal or lesser value. Now that does also mean the prices are jacked up by a lot. You need to, when you go here, you shouldn't come there like clueless. You need to know and learn about the prices, how they work, how you can take this to your advantage. Although the prices are really jacked up, you can actually take the jacked up prices to your advantage. I suggest you bring a friend, a fellow fan of Gundam model kits. Just see if you can bring others into the store with you, and maybe they could go. You guys can go like half and half split on the total of the total of the kits. But never go there just buying one kit, because the prices will be jacked up and you will be ripped off. So just make sure you go there, you look, you do some research, figure out what you want to buy. You can take forever being in there just trying to figure out what to do, but I think it's all worth it. I mean, you get a movie, there's a movie playing, you're surrounded by a whole lot of other model kits, and if you're lucky, you can even start to interact with other Gundam model kit fans as well. So like I said, there's a huge variety of model kits, not just Gundam model kits. There's also Robot Damashi figures that are actually being sold for really close to yen price. Meads, Pobbs, and I actually figured that out. I don't know if I recorded it or not. But yeah, we actually figured out that the pricing is actually really close to yen, and very nice. It's very nice. There's Strike Freedom, there's a Crossbone X2, there's the Albator. I think there's another one, but I can't remember what it's called. But nice selection of figures. Lots of Bandai things up in there. There's also Chinese movies. There's adult movies if you're into that, and a whole lot of other things. So check it out if you can. Try and support that store, that business. Okay, so that's it for that part. Now here is the second part of my video. General versus Z updates. I ain't done shit in terms of like model kits and things like that. I haven't done anything. I've been lazy. At the same time, like I said, I've been trying to get my life back to a more pace. So working is also involved. Getting all these other paperworks and all this like crazy things that I didn't think I'd have to do just because I was injured. And things like that. Hanging out with people, just catching up with them. That's always more important than model kits. Is being with the people that you appreciate being around. That's that. Model kits come and go, people come and go, but it's the company that it's the value of the company that I personally value more than anything. So I haven't done anything, but in terms of review wise, this might be a good thing for some of you, but might or might not be, but it's definitely a good thing for me. So in the last review I did, the GM Type C, I liked actually the way that turned out because it was a little bit of a mix of things that I've done before. Like there's small bits that are scripted, but then there's other bits that are just straight up me talking without a script, non-scripted. It's just straight up. And I actually like the way this review turned out because of one little addition, one little detail that I don't normally do in my other reviews. And it was actually in the description in the description box of the review that I figured out what I did. And that's actually comparing this. Actually, that was actually comparing that model kit to model kits that I've had in the past. So like, I was comparing the articulation levels to some high grades that I have. So basically what I want to do is, from now on, and you guys know my high grade collection, those of you who have followed me for the longest time, you know that I've got a lot of high grade double oak kits, a couple of seed kits, and a couple of Universal Century kits, high grade Universal Century kits. a few master grade kits. So I have a variety of model kits up until, to this point I have a variety of model kits, enough for me to compare any future high grades or master grades or any other kits that I get from now on, to compare the new ones to the ones that I've got. Because as much as I want to be really detailed and informative in my reviews, I also want to be genuine with it. So that's where this is coming from. I just want to compare the model kits that only I have, and the model kits that you've seen. So I don't want to compare like the Titans Gundam Mark II to a I would say master grade 1.5, the 1 Year War RX-782, because I don't know it. Like, I really don't know it. So and it might be a model kit that a lot of people have too. Like, a lot of people could have the Titans Mark II as well as the 1.5, but I want to compare the Mark II with something that I have. Yeah, that's it. I'm kind of out of a loss for words, so I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to get at. So that's that. Now, another thing I wanted to do this week, hopefully, before my new kits come in. I don't know when the Just and Age 1 are going to come in, but hopefully really soon. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, hopefully soon. Hopefully this week. But I want to get another review in, so I'm just going to go ahead and review Raphael, because I don't see too many reviews on that here on YouTube, so I want to just go ahead and just add it into the collection, I guess. And I'm not going to skim through the review just because it's something I just want to do. I'm gonna take the time to make some poses and take some photos. It's a Gundam model, so I want to make it as a Gundam model review. So yeah, that's that for the channel, I suppose. I guess I just want to catch up with working. Like I said, I'm still waiting for Jesta and Age 1 to arrive. I want to build those as fast as I can. I actually want to do a build video for Age 1 because of how it's constructed. I'm actually really interested in how it's constructed. A lot of reviewers talk about the construction of the Age 1 and how it's pretty innovative. Well, I don't know about innovative, but clever. And how there's lots of gimmicks to it, lots of features just within the build that make it worth a purchase. So I want to point that out and just go ahead and do a small build series for that kit. So I'm going to do that for you guys, and that'll be featured, of course, in Versus Eclipse. I'm going to do the first video here, like always, and then do the rest in Versus Eclipse. Will I do that for Jesta? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It's hot. So, yeah, that's that. Masquerade Sandrock, I'm glad I'm back to working because I really want that model kit, and it comes out at the end of the month, and coincidentally I get paid a few days before Sandrock comes out, so funds are going to go immediately to Sandrock. I was really hoping that I was going to start working this month. The first week of October, I was getting doubtful because I was like, oh man, they're not going to let me work yet, but it worked out eventually, so thank goodness for that. So yeah, that's that for the general updates. Now, this last part is my thoughts on Gundam Age. I figured everyone else is doing it, so I want to put my 2 cents in. If you were around since the beginning of this video, you know that I already approve. Why? Now, I don't approve 100%. There's a few things in the first episode, I guess. I don't know if it'll be like continuous. There's a few things in the first episode that I disliked. It was a good episode, but it wasn't without its flaws. And I don't know if they're nitpicky flaws, but I'll just point it out for you anyway. Things I liked. I'm just going to go ahead and list it. I'm not going to try and waste time going into detail with what I liked and what I didn't like up until the end. What I liked, the opening, the refreshing, different approach to this series. It's lighthearted. I like the character designs. I like the voice acting, definitely. Let's see what else. The vibe, the overall vibe. To describe all that in one word, if I were to describe all that in one word, the first episode, very chill. But another thing that I liked about it was the nostalgia factor. From the dream and his mom dying and him all getting all crybaby. Of course, he was a baby, which made sense, unlike some series before that. It felt like I was watching Seed, or rather Destiny, but this is different because it made more sense to me. And then from the scene where Flit, or Frito, I'm gonna call him Frito because I'm hungry, and Frito chips, the snacks. So Frito, when he wakes up, you see his room, you see all these things, these tools, these machines, and everything, and that really took me back to when Amuro was in his room in First Gundam. So that's another thing I liked about this episode, at least, is they at least respect the source. So that's always a plus. I could go on about things I liked. The ending credit song I really liked too. Now, a few things I didn't like was, maybe there's only two, there's not a lot, but two, the grandpa, the old fat man. It's not because he's fat, it's because he looks out of place, like way too, I don't know. It looks like they took Dr. Robotnik, or Dr. Eggman, as they call him now, from Sonic. It looks like they took him and threw him in the Gundam universe or something. Like, what made it even more apparent was that civilian type robot mech thing that he was piloting with the Gundam arm on it. That it was round, it was big, and it was like, Robotnik, like, what are you doing, man? Why are you in here? I really disliked that. It really threw off like everything else. Like, I like the character designs, I like the animation, but he was just too out of place. Way too out of place for me. I hope they give him some kind of different wardrobe if and when, I guess he does, but when he joins in on the whatever the white base is of this series. Don't know what it's called yet. But I hope they change up what he looks like, because as far as I know, if I'm going to keep on looking at him, Dr. Eggman. Every time I see him, Dr. Eggman. Anyway, that's the one thing. That's one thing I didn't like. The other thing I didn't like was how the Age One was represented in his entrance scene. It was inconsistent. There were some shots where and really only be like the back of him and his legs, where it really only focused on other things besides his body and face. So whenever you can see his legs or his feet or his back, the animation was cool. But then when you zoom to his chest or his face or the head, it would just look out of place. Like the animation was a little bit outdated. Like it looked like they didn't take too much time with how much detail they wanted to put in the designing of this scene. And in my mind, typically when you want to introduce a Gundam, in its flight scene or its waking up scene, its awakening scene, it's gonna have to look its best, But the one thing that I also realized was in the second episode, that's when he actually gets his beam rifle. That's when he gets his shield. That's when he gets his, that's when Age 1 looks like the Age 1 that we know, with his armament and stuff. And that's where he does his flight scene, and he does the the pointing of the gun and the shield, and that little thing. So and that looks good. So maybe they knew that Age 1 wasn't in its best looking, so they wanted to save it for when he does look better with a shield and a gun, and then the line art or the animation will look a lot better. But as far as the first episode goes, that's just one thing I didn't like about it. But yeah, I like how the episode went. I like the end especially because the mystery behind the UE, who they are they really aliens? We know they're not aliens. We know those are mobile suits being piloted. We know that. But do we? That's what I'm thinking, at least. Now, why they kill their fallen comrades, that's a mystery to me. Like, who does that? Like, that's messed up. He's already down. You could at least save his ass, but this guy blasts him. That's pretty messed up. So I don't know. It could be like some rebels. Maybe it's like a guerrilla warfare kind of tactic or something. I don't know. But yeah, that part was cool. The mystery behind the UE, that they're not, the mystery behind. There's still some mystery, so that leaves for more build up of the story. I like the ending, especially. Like I said that just now, but I like the ending especially because it wasn't just, oh, Frito saves the day, new episode, yay. It was Frito saves the day, and then immediate retaliation from the UE. I was like, oh, they didn't just run away and like turn into a bunch of pussies and like wait until the next episode to come back. No, they ran away and came back with more firepower, like just like that. So I'm really excited for the second episode. I like how they built up to that. So that's why I really like this first episode. I've got high hopes for the episode. Well, I wouldn't say high hopes, but I am excited for this series. I'm definitely going to follow it. I liked the build up of the first episode. So, and it is only the first episode, so I'm going to give it 2 more because I like to do it in threes. I'm going to watch the second and third episode, and if the third episode is really good, that's it. I'm following through with the entire thing. But if it's okay, up until the third episode, if it's okay, if I like the way things are going, I'm following it. But if it's not what I was, hoping for or something like that, then I'll probably just be like, okay, I'll go ahead and mind my own business again. But then again, it's streaming, and I have really nothing else to do with my day except for working and being on Tumblr. So I'll probably find a way to follow it. So yeah. If you haven't seen it, I'll let you know now. I don't know if this is a bad thing or not, but Go Anime is where I watched it, so I'm probably going to follow it on Go Anime. Unless I don't know. I don't know if it's a good source. I don't know. I don't remember watching any other anime on there, so Go Anime is where I go. That was no pun intended there. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope it wasn't long enough. It was probably a lot shorter than I thought. I was expecting this to be a 30-minute video, but there you go. APEcon versus the updates, and then my thoughts on Age. Very positive about it. And for those of you who enjoy it, I'm glad you do. And for those of you who are hating on it, even before it aired, I hope you watch it, and I hope it changes your mind. I don't know. Anyway, peace out. I'm gonna go over there and do my shuffle because I'm happy that I'm walking again. Bye, guys.